Actually, talking about the BAL actually brought some memories about when I was in the Gambia, and then we talked about the Giants of Africa. The
Yeah,
founder is Masai Ujiri, and
yeah,
Mhm.
before this BAL and all of those stuff, there was the Giants of Africa, where a lot of famous NBA players that are from Africa
basketball
benefited.
with
Indeed.
First of all, we'll say Gorgui Dieng. I know a lot of people forget about Gorgui Dieng.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big dog.
But before, Gorgui Dieng was in the Minnesota Timberwolves, he was a camper. He went to this camp and then participated in the Giants of Africa camp. Then we have the likes of, Pascal Siakam, Joel Embiid, and many
yeah,
more. We have pressures from Nigeria that benefited from this. And till this day, we have people in the, NCAA Division One that
yes,
benefited from them. But
yes.
if you think about it, we have players from Senegal that have benefited from it, went to these camp, even Borders of Africa camp. But we have never had Gambians, Gambian-based players that are in the Gambia that get the chance to be invited. I've reached out when I was in the Gambia. I've sent so many emails, DMs on Facebook, Instagram, but it's just that we don't have that representation for
At that
Gambian
level.
basketball player to be able to be presented, like, oh, this is Gurgi, this is, Mokhtar, this is Mustafa Toure. We need him to be in this type of situation or these camp. Now we're having the FIBA camps where we have some of these players that Fanta went there. Tita has the opportunity to be there too. We had Isamba went there, Mustafa part of the MVP. This is amazing. But we cannot just limit it to one because we don't have only two, three players out of each year going out. We need more than two players going out to different camps. So what has been our biggest challenge as Gambian, basketball community? Is it mindset? Is it funding? Is it network? What do you think is actually holding us back? Because this is something that we're talking about the past 10 years, and still we're seeing, 1% of progress. But if we want to move drastically and move fast as a nation, especially for the Afro basketball qualifiers, World Cups, what can we do? Or what is the biggest challenge right now?
Well, I mean, man, I don't even know where to start.
When he
You know,
asked that question, I thought I was like, man, you put Mr. Seka on the spot because
no, no, I know, like how Dauda is the best person to, speak on this,
Mhm.
because he's been on both sides, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So, but just, okay, number one is this. We have to stop treating basketball as a recreation only.
Thank you.
Basketball is a business, you know what I mean? And we have to have the business mindset. And when I say we, is the people at the top, you know what I mean? And we have to find ways to find funding. Funding is critical. Okay, Dowda mentioned Masai Ujiri with the Giants of Africa.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And Masai, one thing that he did that I really like, I don't know whether you guys remember this. It was the 2016, I think, All Star
Yeah.
game.
In Toronto,
They played in Toronto.
I was
Yeah,
there. I was in because I live in
yeah.
Toronto, so I was around. Yeah.
Okay, so you will know this. So Masai invited the president of Rwanda, Paul
Yes.
Kagame.
Yeah.
So Paul Kagame came. Kagame doesn't know anything about basketball. He has no clue what basketball is. You know what I mean? But Masai has this vision. So he invited him to come. Kagame was inside the arena. All of a sudden, Paul Kagame, just bow his head down. And Masai thought there was something was wrong. You know what I mean? He asked him, Mr. President, is everything okay? Are you bored or are you sick or what's going on? Kagame just raised his head and be like, how much does it cost to build this whole stadium? You know what I mean? That's where it started. Kagame just saw the vision, you know, and was like, you know what? I can have this in my country, you know. And within a few years, they now have
Look.
the BK Arena there now.
Yeah.
That's hosting the BAL finals like every year, and they've signed a long-term contract with the BAL.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So coming back to Gambia, look, in Africa, governments are the ones that sponsor basketball. You know what I mean? Our businesses don't have what it takes to be able to
Sponsor.
sponsor and expect an ROI.
Yeah.
Basketball does not bring anything, especially basketball back home.
Hmm.
So My suggestion is go to the top. Our GBA officials, go and meet President Barrow. Introduce him to the game of basketball. Invite him to one of the games and talk to him and tell him what these are our challenges. Don't go through the Minister of Sports or the Sports Council, GNOC. I mean, that's just a whole bunch of bureaucracy. You know what I mean? Go to the head honcho, speak to him, and tell him these are some of the things that we are dealing with. But you got to make a business case for it, though. You have to make a business case. And do our people know how to make a business case, you know, for President Barrow to be able to see this? It's election season. You know what I mean? These guys, they want to get elected. You know, you have these young people who are playing basketball. They are all 18 and over now. They can all go. You know what I mean? So find a way that you can tie that into the conversation and sell it to him. You know what I mean? And show him the examples that, you know, the examples of Paul Kagame, you know, and all these other examples. Look at what Senegal is doing. Senegal is now a basketball hub.
Exactly.
You know? Sell it to him in such a way that he is able to see it and be like, whoa, you know, this is a sector that we have really ignored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe at the bare minimum, I can just build them an indoor
court,
stadium.
something.
You know what I mean? And this is something that I spoke to with some of the coaches when they won the under 21 basketball tournament in like Guinea-Bissau, you know, and all. I'm like, dude, when you guys get home, don't ask for anything. Ask for indoor court. You know, you don't need, you know, for them to give you money. No. Ask for indoor court.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You know, I spoke to all the coaches that went there, you know. So these are the things that we need. You know what I mean? Go and get the funding. And also funding. Like talking about funding, we have the diaspora.
Go and get the funding. Absolutely.
The last numbers that I know about was during COVID, that the diaspora sent close to 700 million US dollars
back to Gambia.
And this was 2021. How much is it now? How much of that money is going towards basketball? Probably zero. You know what I mean? But you have diasporans like you and me over here. I mean, we may not have a lot, but when it comes to basketball, man, we will give until, you know, I mean, we will give, you know, we will give. And that's a lot of us. That's a lot of us. So you need to tap into it. But there's this one thing about Gambia that we have to say. There's this love and hate relationship between the Gambia and the diaspora.
100%.
They want our money, but they don't want to hear our opinions.
Yes.
But we have to work together. We have to work together. Just like Dauda said, the conversation that you guys had with Waka, you know, and this is something I've talked to Dauda a lot about, you know, whereby we have like some sort of clinic, like a weekend clinic, whereby we gather all the basketball players here in the United States. I mean, we have a lot of, we can have a whole team just in the US only. In the US only, we have a whole team. You know what I mean? The thing that I told the GBA was, look, I don't need money from you. I don't need a diplomatic passport. I don't need none of that stuff. All I need is designate me as some sort of basketball ambassador that I can have the credentials. When I go to these schools, I can talk to, you know, the relevant people. You know, at least they will give me, you know, that attention that we can start speaking to these schools. We can start going to these parents. We can start speaking to the players themselves that this is what we're trying to do in the Gambia. And we're just getting started. You know, do we have your buy-in? And I actually did this. I went to Western Washington.
Oh, nice.
Here, it's just an hour away from me. At that time, there were 4 Gambian players.
Isn't that Janko school?
Janko was there at that time. Janko, BJ Coley was there.
Okay.
Sen was there.
Oh, nice.
I went there. I spoke to these kids, you know, and I'm like, look, are you guys ready to represent Gambia? They said, yes, we are. So I went back to the GBA, never heard back anything.
I see.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even 2 years ago, we had talked to Omar Thielmans, or last year, sorry. We had spoken to him as well, and he was also excited to go and represent Gambia. But, you know, similarly, because of all these structural issues and whatnot, sometimes you have to take other situations. We have a teammate as well, FJ. she's representing Guinea right now, but she would love to play for Gambia. But it all goes back to that. It all goes back to
that hurts me a
yeah.
lot. That really did. When I heard her story, I'm like, man, are you kidding me, man? I mean,
And that's the thing. Actually,
and
what you're talking about is exactly what Matar Ndiaye does. Wait, he's an alumni for Senegalese basketball. Now, what he does
yes,
is go in, talk to these people in the United States, get these players here, link them with the federation
yes,
in Senegal. They
yep,
get the chance. I mean, even his son, he plays. I remember I was in a webinar where it was Joko Hub. It's just sort of like what we're doing right now. It's just a bunch of basketball players that are from Senegal that they make it professionally, linking each and every one of these Senegalese together. And this is exactly
Mhm.
what you are talking about. And I hope that that platform is being given to you. And then that's going to be beneficial for us, honestly
and
speaking.
that's just the US. You know, like we're talking about Europe, we're talking about Asia. You know, there's just a lot of them out there. Like you go to Europe right now, you know, give that designation, like how do we give that designation to Jim? Jim is
Yeah,
passionate about the game. Jim can find you at least 2 or 3 kids that are playing in Europe that can
right
represent.
now.
You
Right
know,
now.
you go to the Middle East, you go to Asia, you know, you go everywhere around the world. There are kids there that will be more than happy to, you know, represent Gambia. Because I mean, let's just face it, every athlete wants
To
to
play for
represent,
the country.
you know, internationally, no matter what
Yeah,
you're doing. And
yeah,
let's face it also, I mean, most of the kids playing here, what are the likelihoods of them representing the US? It's very, very,
yeah,
It's
it's
very
yeah.
very
slim.
slim.
Very
You
slim. Even yeah, even Team Canada is really like at this point now, if you want to make any of these leagues, you have to be a leaguer. You have
know,
to be in the NBA or a high level D1 player because even they don't get picked up. So I agree with you. Like